Second Primetime Emmy Awards airs Sunday, September 20th, right here on 5 Eyewitness News. I will be hosting it this year.
It is not. Actually, I think you weren't available, so they asked Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, to come back and do it again.
He said he would do it.
This year, by the way, it's all going to be virtual.
Joining us now via Skype with his thoughts on the shows to watch before the big night.
Paul's
From
here.
Paul's trip to the movies, we welcome Paul McGuire.
Hi, Paul.
Okay, Paul,
Hello.
you're starting with a show that people were just so sad when it ended, and we have to call it Bleeps Creek.
We'll call it Bleeps Creek.
Yeah.
You can look, the spelling is okay, but we're just not going to say it,
Yes.
okay? We're not going to get in trouble.
This is a show that means the world to me. It was a little Canadian show starring Eugene Levy, created with his son Dan Levy, that just became this pop culture phenomenon. In its last season now, it earned 19 nominations, acting nominations for its 4 leads, Eugene, Dan, Catherine O'Hara, Annie Murphy. And what I love about it, it is a show where the characters and this town all love and respect everyone. There's no such thing as racism or homophobia. So you have this gay couple as the 2 leads, and everyone loves them and supports them. And it is just so much heart and love throughout this whole entire series. And yes, it takes a little bit to get into, get past the first season. The show is done now, the 6 seasons. The first 5 are on Netflix, and I hope that you love it and take something away from it. I mean, it's had such a huge impact on the LGBTQ community, and just anyone I think that watches it falls in love with these very unique and individual characters.
Let me ask you this question, and you mentioned this, like, stick with it through the first season. From a comedic standpoint, I think I entered the first couple of episodes expecting more laughter, maybe something reminiscent of The Office, and then it felt like I wasn't quite getting it. My guess is that these characters really grow on you.
They definitely grow on you. You have to kind of understand what the vibe is going to be. And then as the show continued, they really honed in on the voices and those characters. And Catherine O'Hara wears like a different wig in every scene, and that's part of the humor. And Dan Levy's expressions, that's part of the humor. I mean, you don't see characters like this on TV. And I think that's, along with its messages, are what makes it so special, especially as the show gets on. You just love it more and more with each season.
19 Emmy nominations, so we'll look for that coming up so that you're ready to go. Okay, let's talk about drama. You say The Morning Show, which I'm so happy you're talking about.
Yes, it's on Apple TV+, another show that really took me by surprise. This has 8 Emmy nominations, 5 for its actors, including Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell. You know, and it's about this morning news show that is rocked with sexual harassment allegations against its male host. And, I mean, bombshells are dropped in every episode. It keeps you glued in. And I think that this is really a career high for Jennifer Aniston. I'm glad that she has this role to really sink her teeth into. It gets you thinking about these topics in a different way and all the different angles that are involved. I know both of you have both watched it.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
There are a couple moments where you're like, oh goodness, that happened. And also about Reese Witherspoon. You know, Reese Witherspoon is in this, and she was in Big Little Lies, and then she was in Little Fires Everywhere recently. And for me, those 2 characters were sort of like the same character in some ways. I just saw this bleed over, whereas this character here, I thought she was going to be some like high-powered executive, and she comes at it from a totally different angle, and I think that makes it really enjoyable.
It's one of her career best performances too, and she produced all 3 of these shows. I mean, she's really leaning to TV, these sort of limited series. It got renewed for season 2. They were filming it before the pandemic happened, so I'm not sure season 2 will happen, but look for it on Apple TV+. It's worth the subscription of $4.99. It's really quality television.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. 8 nominations, 8 Emmy nominations for that one. Okay, so now let's move on to, in the category of limited series, you think we should be watching Watchmen?
Yes, this is on HBO, HBO Max, however you get your HBO. This is 26 Emmy nominations, the most nominated series this year. It stars Regina King, who I bow down to, Jean Smart. It's based on a graphic novel, and it's kind of this alternate reality, but then tackling so many different hot-button issues that we're all facing today. And it is stunning. It's a high concept. It's daring. It goes in some really interesting directions, but stick it out because it gets you thinking and talking.
I need to watch this. I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either. Is this like the same Watchmen? There was that graphic novel movie about a decade or so ago, Bruce Willis, I think?
It's based on that same material, and it came out last fall, but it kind of got trending again in June because the first episode takes place during the Tulsa Massacre. So you learn a lot about that, and that's really the starting point of where this show goes. And again, more bombshells with every episode, more character developments, and Regina King, bow down. She's going to go up against Cate Blanchett in Mrs. America for the lead actress. Gene Smart got a nomination. A ton of the
Paul
actors.
knows all the Emmy nominations.
I know,
He can just rattle these off. Paulie, we love it when you join us. Thank you so much. He knows all the things.
You
can visit Paul's website, by the way, paulstriptothemovies.com for updates and on movies and streaming services. You can also listen to him on the Colleen and Bradley Show on My Talk 107.1 every Friday. He's got his own YouTube channel too. It's called Paul's Trip to the Movies.
It is. TCL's Movie Trip is brought to you by Musca Lighting. Their showrooms in Roseville and Eden Prairie are open now. They're cleaning, and they ask that visitors wear a mask, of course. Right now, they have special packages to choose from. They'll coordinate your lighting between different areas of your home for one price. You can find them at muscalighting.com.
Coming up next, we're going to tell you about the State Fair favorite that you can now find at your local grocery store. Stay there.
Thanks to Musca Lighting for sponsoring TCL's Movie Trip. Replace old and dated fixtures with a new light and change the look and feel of your home. Our mudroom fixture from Musca Lighting is a total showstopper. We get compliments from everyone who walks through the door. Talk to the experts at Musca Lighting in Roseville and Eden Prairie for help finding the perfect light for you.